Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent that we are at a disclosed location. That's right. We're right here in Berkeley, California, right? Let me pick you up. We're right here at the aquatic park. And what we're looking at here is a poor man, a poor little rich man. That's right. So if you look behind me, security's doing his job. I just parked right here. I think it's okay to park. I'm going to do a quick video. Let's look at this building here and let's see him watching me. There you are. He's just doing his rounds. But yeah, so there's a good example of a poor little rich man. He's got this whole building here. Let's go out here. Even another guy taking a picture of it. Let's do a little zoom in here. What's he taking a picture of? Yeah, that's where I'm at Berkeley's aquatic park. So let's make sure this camera is in properly. And yes, this building has been built brand new, and there's a poor little rich man out there that cannot get in there. All this is empty, empty, empty. Oh, that guy wasn't taking a picture. He's doing the YouTube of his bicycle jumps. I see. He's jumping his bicycle right there, and he's got his video camera there. So here, let's see him do a jump. Oh, nice, nice. That's what he was doing. He's doing stunts. But anyway, look as far as you can see. As far as you can see, and there's a brand new building. All this street has been redone. All this is brand new, and no one can move in. That guy's got a nice little move right there. You see how he does a little jump? Well, what I'm going to do today is we're going to get the drone in the air, and I'm going to talk about a poor man's problems here at beautiful Berkeley Aquatic Park. Look at this place. Yeah, that guy's just working on that move. But let me get out of the way. This is a nice little bike path here. You can see it's brand new. So they got a nice path to ride here. Poor little rich man. Okay, it is apparent as far as the eye can see. Empty, 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 empty. This is supposed to be a campus full of people, and there's not one person in it. So I don't know how much that building costs. I don't know how much it costs to maintain. There's the security way down there. That security's got quite a walk, doesn't he? He's got to make his rounds. So there's somebody paying landscaping here. They're paying security here. They're paying janitorial services here, and no one's moving in. Look where it's at. It's at one of the most beautiful places in Berkeley, right here on Aquatic Park. And nothing. There is nobody here. So let's go get the drone in the air and see what we can see. But definitely they built this building and no one's coming. So what does that cost, and how much does it cost just to maintain it by the week and by the month? I can't believe it. So just imagine this whole building, as far as the eye can see, brand new, and nobody in it. Wow. I guess I'll take you right to the back door. I guess you call this back door, but usually there's a TI in here. There's a full-on garage in here. So you can walk on this sidewalk. This is public property. Now you can't go past that line. But look at, it's all sheetrock in there. No TI. Look at the walls. See how they have the tape on the walls? There's no paint. Wow. So can you imagine building this huge building and nobody's in it? You got to pay for the upkeep. I forgot to say, not only the security, the janitory, you got to pay for your fire sprinklers. That's right. He's got to pay monthly fire sprinkler costs. Look at, let's see the old backflow preventer. That's right. There's your fire sprinkler backflow preventer. You got to have a sign on what the address is and what it serves. All right, well, it's right next to a train station. You hear that. But look at this place. As far as the eye can see. I don't want to get ran over from a train, but I'll show you the back alley of this place. I'll zoom in. Wow, look at parking all below here. All that's empty office space. Hold the phone. Chicago, next stop. All right, now it's safe to pass. These people can pass. Let's go, let's go. Yep, safe to pass, safe to pass. All right. Well, there you go. One completely empty building. Nobody's even watching me from the window. Usually there'd be like a CEO or some kind of CFO or some kind of O up there in the corner office. But not at this place. Brand new, empty. So what happened? Who was supposed to move in here? Poor little rich man. All right. Let's get that drone in the air like we just don't care. As always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these poor little rich man adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Wow. That's a lot of money just sitting there, fading away as we speak. Just like you and me. And that car. Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. It is apparent we are flying high above Berkeley, California. That's right, I need to pull up a little bit because I do not want to lift up and run into power lines, so you always move very slowly. But today we are looking at a poor little rich man's problem, or some might call it rich men or ladies, I don't know, but somebody's got a problem here, and it is a very expensive one. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there is a poor little rich man that cannot get anybody to move into his new building. This building is brand new and nobody is moving in. Usually when you build a building like this, well, I don't know if it's the economy or the price he's asking, but when you have a building like this and nobody moves in, boy, is it expensive just to have a building like this sit. So, just think about it. If you have to pay security, I don't know what the security bill is, but if you have to pay janitorial, well, I don't know what that is. But the insurance, security, and janitorial and landscaping alone is a pretty penny. But this, I guess I call it buildings. These buildings are in one of the most prime spots in the bay, right on Aquatic Park. Now, you think being on that hill, they would have a little bit of settlement issues, but I don't know. There was other buildings there in the past, but they were just single stories like the one across the street there. nothing to this massive scale. So I really do believe no matter if you're rich or if you're poor, everybody has problems. And this just proves it. So all those people on the freeway, you're not going to get out of life without having problems. So thank goodness we do have a life. There's me trying to zoom in on San Francisco on a very, very hazy day. So it was just a waste of space. But that was trying to show you exactly where this building is located in the bay. So it's just a stone's throw from San Francisco if you are a very strong thrower. But yes, this massive building is sitting here empty, and to prove it, at the end of this video I drove around it and looked inside, and you can see that there is no ceiling. That's right, you can almost see the empty floor. No carpet, no ceiling, no plumbing. Well, I guess you got to have elevators, but for the most part, all those buildings is empty, not one person. It is almost eerie to see Berkeley so empty. I just did another video not too long ago about the empty dead side of Berkeley. Now Berkeley has two dead sides, and they're both on the 80 freeway, very visible by thousands and thousands of people. So, what are they going to do with this? And who did they build it for? Well, I'll keep you updated, but usually when somebody moves in, you can see string lights from construction companies, but there is not one general contractor on this job. So I don't know how much longer you can just keep eating an empty building. Now, it's not the first building that I've built and have had the experience of driven by, and it still continues empty. So there are a lot of buildings like this in the Bay Area. But this one has like a living roof. That's what we call that. You see that grass on the roof? That's living roof. They're trying to make the building more environmentally friendly. So that's why they have a living roof. Maybe it helps the roof stay more cool. I'm not really sure about why they put plants on the roof. Maybe it's a garden of some sort where they grow their own herbs and spices. I'm not sure. I don't know. But just look at the size of that. I've said it before, there was an old building, Plexicon, that used to be right there. I did the fire sprinklers, their inspections and maintenance and corrections, and they're no longer there. They're in another location because this building bought their property. So there was a big warehouse and a couple businesses, and they're gone with the times. But this, look at it. Thousands of people do. Even this rowboater. I'm glad they kept the old red boathouse for the bicyclists and the boaters. And they do have that nice bicycle trail there, so. But if you can see one person in this place, please let me know. I did not. Oh, I'll take that back. I did see the security guard. And a lot of this is parking, believe it or not. They really did a good job of building parking right into the building. You can see the whole top of that is a parking lot. So it must be business in the front, parking in the back. You see it there, that's all parking lot. So half of that building is parking lot, believe it or not. I should say buildings. So that might be a reason no one wants to move in here, just because of the weird floor plan where they have a parking garage in the back. You don't have a big open floor. I don't know. But it sure is a nice location, like I said. And if you got any type of money, well, come on down to Berkeley, and I'm sure you can make a deal on this one. Well, I don't know how much longer this place will stay empty, because people will move in there when they figure out how close it is to San Francisco. Now, the problem that Berkeley has, and it's not a secret, is they have a whole bunch of homeless people. So all around this area, you will find RVs and tents all along the railroad tracks. But Berkeley has been getting a lot better. You can see that all this used to be, I would say, campers and homeless RVers, but they really have done a good job of cleaning up Berkeley, and Oakland too. So everybody's been doing a good job. But I guarantee you, this could have to do with them not renting it. You see this parking right here? That's all well and fine. But every, I would say 10 minutes or less, these train tracks get used. So if you're in a business, I don't know if you want your business right next to tracks where you hear the horns of the tracks and the trains. So it could be one deterrent of opening a business in Berkeley. Well, I got the battery changed just for one little quick outro. That's right. We want to give you one little quick outro, but here is what I'm talking about. You got this beautiful building right here in a quiet neighborhood, and then all of a sudden you got Amtrak and other, I want to say, different people coming to your back door on this section of your property. But yeah, I'm trying to beat this train going backwards, and I'm trying not to hit any power lines. So yeah, that train had a little bit more speed than I did. But there you go. That train makes a lot of noise, and it's going to be at your back door every, like I said, 10 minutes. So that might have a part to play in why they can't rent this. I don't know. But I do like to see that train moving. It's quite a sight to see. All right, well, it looks like I've rambled enough about this rich man's problems. Or should I say, poor little rich men. I don't know if that's how they got their term, but poor little rich men. There's a rich, maybe a group of men. Poor little investors. That's basically what I need to say. So if you got money, you got problems. Remember what they say: more money, more problems. And I do believe that's true. So you got to find happiness wherever you get it. That's all you can do. Well, here's where that camera gets, there's a trigger on this thing, and it always gets me. And I do not like that when I hit that trigger. This is like the second time I tried to come down and land this thing and give you a nice little peace out. But the problem I kept having was people and dogs and shady people, and even the train stopped me. So this is the second, I want to say, peace out that I'm giving you. But I do believe there could be 3. I'm just saying, you never know how much ham is in the video. But I didn't get the perfect shot. But this one is. Well, there's your building, poor little Richmond. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these poor little rich man adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Watch out for that wire. Okay, it is apparent we just ended up droning that big empty building. So we're going to go drive the front of this thing. Now I have you on my selfie stick, so it's a lot easier to drive. So if people say, well, you shouldn't be driving and filming, okay, you're right. But I have you on a selfie stick, so if I wanted to, I could use 2 hands like this, you see? I just got to pay real close attention here. But yeah, we're going to go drive by. I took my tooth out. I had it out, or I had it in when I was flying the drone, because you never know who's going to come up and talk to you. So yeah, let's stick this camera out the window. We're here at Taraki Saki. And do they stop? Yes, they stop, but do they stop? That's the thing, is they have a stop sign, but no one abides by that. Okay, here we are, the newest empty building in the bay. That's the problem with building these buildings. You're not guaranteed if anybody's going to move in, but look at the size of that. All of that, empty, empty, empty. Well, I guess it's not empty because the security guard is in there and the janitor. So just because that place is empty, well, there's still people in it. So I guess if you're the janitor, do you like to have an empty building? Or is it harder? I don't know. But here we go. We're going down here to the Aquarian Park. This used to be a 2-lane street, but not anymore. And those bicyclists, those are hard to see, aren't they? You got to have a big flag on them like that. So can I drive down here? I think I can. I see arrows. And I see other cars down here, but here is that big empty building. Look at this. That almost deserves a wide screen. Look at that. Empty, empty. So, poor little rich man out there. I guess there's rich men and women because you have investors. So, if you have a whole bunch of investors, well, it's just not one person that's empty, that's taking the hit in the pocket. But yep, we flew this with my drone right now, and the whole thing is completely empty from the top to the bottom. They even have some kind of special green roof up there. So if you want a whole bunch of office space right next to the Berkeley Aquatic Park, well, we got a spot just for you. Brand new. It's probably got that new building smell. Matter of fact, I know it does. Because look at right here. Look at, there's a good example. I'm going to zoom in for you. Look at, it's a TI. You can see in there, there's the fire sprinklers. So they don't even have any T-bar. Wow. So that's just the shell. So you are looking at a ghost campus. Look at, that's supposed to be full of people eating and learning and getting paid. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Wow. Like I said, that's a lot of fire sprinklers to be inspecting. And somebody's got to do an annual inspection on this every year, even though there's nobody in there. So that must be a good one. I could even see I don't know if my camera will zoom in on that, but you could see the fire sprinkler pipe right there? Yep, you can. Yep, I don't know, it's a hard glare, but trust me, the fire sprinklers are there. So if you move in here, you have to pay for your own T-bar and your own lighting. So this is an empty shell of a building. So they definitely got to have security here, or they'll steal the copper right out of the walls here. All right. Well, there you go. Poor man's, or I should say poor little Richmond. Is that where they got the term Richmond? Richmond. Richmond, California. All right. There you go. One last look. Poor little Richmond in Berkeley, California. I did see the security guard here, so there is somebody in there watching the place. But like I said, you need to build your own walls, your own lights, your own ceiling, your own everything. It's just a shell. Just a shell of what it used to be. There was a whole bunch of businesses there that they got rid of, working businesses. So where's the tax income or revenue? I don't know. All right, well, there you go. Aquatic park, new business owner. Yeah, look at how shady it is around here in Berkeley. Just a whole bunch of shady stuff. All right. Well, let's get this camera turned around on me where the action is. I saw that lady earlier. She's out, she's working hard. She's a scrapper. So don't think these homeless people don't work. They do. All right. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these poor little rich man adventures. I better start driving now. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, drive that car. Quit messing around.